Wildlife Foundation and the Africa and the Laikipia Wildlife Forum, tumpigie makofi in absentia. Also in absentia, for finance and planning, Eunice Wangari Gatia. Eunice is a regional finance manager with the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, KERA. And prior to that, she worked for 8 years as an accountant in the private sector. She holds a Bachelor of Commerce, a Master's or an MBA in Strategic Management, and is a CPA. Tumpigeni makofi. Environment and Natural Resources, Dr. Jennifer Kinoti. Dr. Kinoti is a renowned scientist and brings deep technical and managerial knowledge to the management of natural resources and basin protection. And she has worked at Centrad, both here in Nyanyuki as well as on the continent. Karibu sana daktari. Karibu.
Well, we interrupt that address there by Laikipia Governor Nderitu Mureithi. He's taken time to talk about the process by which 133 individuals within the county were shortlisted by the Public Service Board and taken through interviews. He has named 2 CCs, a county secretary and a deputy. Remember, initially he had named 8 CC nominees. 3 were rejected during vetting. He has named 2. And he says he will advise on other nominations in subsequent days. He was now going through the names of chief officers who basically will be sort of like PSs at the county level, overseeing operations within the counties as well. Well, we'll take you back there shortly, but for now, let's take you to Uhuru Park, where concerned Kenyans, human rights activists, defenders, and media practitioners have gathered to talk about various issues and to protest about matters like the state of democracy in the country, human rights violations, attack on media, and what they are terming as outright disregard for the rule of law as stipulated in the Constitution. Let's take a look at what's going on there. Even as Makori Ongechi, our reporter on the ground, let us know a little bit about how this protest is developing. Makori, what can you tell us?
Well, very good morning to you, Wahiga. Yes, we are coming live to you from Uhuru Park, where, like you have said, there is a group of members of various particular activist groups that are assembling or gathering up in planning to demonstrate over what they say is, or they have a number of issues that they want to address or demonstrate against. Wahiga, key of the agendas that this particular group is demonstrating against is the media shutdown, where they are saying that the government has gone too way far in probably doing that which is against the Constitution of Kenya. And now I want to talk to one of the members of these groups to briefly tell us what exactly is happening. Gentlemen, could you kindly tell us what you are planning to do or achieve in the course of the day?
Today, a consortium of human rights organizations gather here at Freedom Corner, and we want to march through the city of Nairobi. And the message we are taking forward basically is that the government of Kenya, or the Jubilee government, is considering law as a nuisance, and they are not following any law as we know it today. We have examples of the government not giving the citizens the freedom that the citizens need to have, even the freedom to gather, the freedom of speech is not there today in this country. You will find that the government even disobeys court orders. As much as they push Kenyans to obey the law, the government itself does not obey court orders. There are court orders that have been hanging for over 1 year, like the one for the PS Interior. It's been hanging there for 1 year. There are court orders where the government has been asked to implement the act of the Public Benefits Organizations Act. The government has refused to implement this act. The government, currently there are people who are in custody, like Miguna. The court has given an order for him to be released. The government has refused. There are several things that the government has refused. Even the implementation of the two-thirds gender rule, There is a court order on it. The government has refused. The president has refused even to obey the 2/3 gender rule in appointing his cabinet the other day. So what we are seeing is that the Jubilee government does not respect the law, and even the law on information, the freedom or the right of the people to get information, they are infringing on it. Right now, they have switched off 3 TVs in this country. The citizens cannot get information. And even a court order is there that this TV station should be switched on, but the government has refused to switch them on.
So what is your plan for the day? Probably where do you want to march to? Do you have any petition that probably you want to present to someone?
We are not presenting a petition. And because if they're not obeying the law, I'm not sure if they will want to obey a petition or to listen to what we are putting in a petition, because the things we would have told them in a petition are things that they know and they're refusing to do. So ours is to mobilize Kenyans and to inform Kenyans of what is going on in this country, and to prepare Kenyans that we are going towards a hard times, and Kenyans may need or should come out and defend this space. So we are pushing on to defend our space, our rights as Kenyans to have freedom of speech, to have freedom of receiving information, to have for obedience of law. So all these things we are pushing together. Yes, welcome.
Well, Waiga, those are some of the issues that this particular group or members of various activist groups and the Kenya human rights groups that are gathering up or trying to really march and probably demonstrate against what is happening. Wahiga.
Thank you, Makori Ongechi, for that update, and just for letting our viewers know what is happening at Uhuru Park as that consortium of civil rights groups meet to protest. They're at the Freedom Corner, and there are various issues, freedom of the media, and of course, the government should obey the court orders as well as some of the issues that have made them congregate at that point at this moment. Well, we can now take you back to Laikipia County, where Governor Nderitu Mureithi continues to name chief officers and to walk the county through what his administration will look like moving forward.
Yes, let me start with Annette Wambui, who has been holding like 5 jobs at a time. Director of